Hello and welcome back. I'm just about to finish up this little hearthkyn guy. Once again, to my one loyal subscriber, God bless your cotton socks. But I'm not going to do a lot of preamble. This is the same guy we were working on last day. His name's Steve. This is Steve. We are going to kind of do out his badoobadops and his daboobabips and his shaboobadops and get them all done. We're going to finish Steve up. So, start off, I'm going to do his leather bits. So I'm going to shake up some Morning Fang Brown. Da-da-da-da. Hope everyone's had a lovely week. Once again, I'll show you what I'm doing this time. So, that should be enough. Take a nice dollop of Morning Fang. And now, because I have my other guys, and my couple other leagues characters have really toned back their brown bits with quite a substantial amount of black. So I'm just going to take this here for a second. Clean off a little palette knife. And let's get to mixing. So how's everyone been? I hope everyone enjoyed the World Series. I'm currently watching the curling trials because I'm Canadian, and that's what you have to do. That's a requirement. It's in our, Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Right, Section 1, thou shalt watch curling. Maybe a touch more. And by a touch, I mean that metric acid I just put on the brush. The only beauty is that if I do add too much, I can even it out by adding back in some brown. In my experience, when I've been doing my black for my purples and other colors, you never think you have enough. Or you think you have enough and then you go and put it on, and it really wasn't. Okay. But these are just troops, so it shouldn't need to be perfect. All right. Say, no, definitely not 2. 1's probably the right brush for you. All right. So I shouldn't need to thin this down too much because I actually pre-thinned a bunch of this, like I do. My little paint mixture. Bring down another extra light. And then, oh yeah, there we go. It's a nice mocha brown. That is just what I'm looking for. Now, this pouch here, I'm also going to paint brown. I could do a different color, but this is a Hearthkyn warrior. Ask yourself, does it matter? Every single bit shows up different, right? Do some things for your own sanity, guys. Those little belt loops I am going to do different because I want them to look metal toned. Alright. I need to get my hair cut. It keeps falling into my face. Now this is the part where overall through this whole process I've been a little cavalier. I'm going to speak of cavalier in a second. Don't worry. But I'm kind of at the point now where I really don't want to make a mistake and paint over something I already have. Just because I don't want to have to do any unnecessary touch-ups for little fiddly detail work, right? In the bigger painting stages, I don't mind because you do the touch-ups when you're doing this stuff. But once I'm here, well, I don't want to have to go back again. Now, again, if you like me, you like to assemble everything before you paint it, now you've got an issue because you've got to get in there. What I like to do is I actually just take the paint on one part of my brush and I just reach up, man, and I'm fairly confident that it won't ruin anything because the paint is only on one part of my brush. So instead of doing this like I would normally do to take paint evenly, let me just wash that off real quick. Like a nice curl to spread it out. I'm just gonna flatten my brush a bit. And then only take it on that side. Even then, you'll still make oopsie daisies like I just did. But if you do, slobber all over your brush, put it right in there. And slobber all over your brush again. And I'll take most of it off. I'm sure Citadel is consumer safe. They would never cheap out and endanger the consumer. Alright, that's most of his leather done. Because I put a little bit of a zenith on this, I'm actually not going to do a second coat. I like the look. I don't want an even coat. What do you guys think? Should I do? Nah, I'm going to do these black, I think. So yeah, that's the leather. Alright, next up. We're going to take this brass scorpion. I'm going to do a couple bits with this brass scorpion. Just his little belt loops. I'm going to do this part of the carabiner with it. And then I'm also going to do this part of his belt here. Where that ends. With it as well. And just a couple other wee spots. So that middle part there. That part there. A little bit of brass scorpion. Anything else I want to do? I don't think so. I think that's it. Okay. Alright, next up. Oh, I gotta do his belt buckle, but I'm gonna do that after. Next up, our Lord and Savior Led Belcher. A bit more I want to do with the Lead Belcher. Okay. I don't know if I want to do some of these gun parts in lead belcher or not. Perhaps. I think I'm going to do the shoes in lead belcher as well. I wasn't going to, but sometimes you look at something, you just like the look of it. I like the contrast that it adds. I never picture the Votann walking around in like rubber-soled shoes. I always picture them with some sort of metal. But I wasn't digging that kind of darker bronze color after having it in a couple places. So I'm gonna just do that real quick. There we go. Now we've got shoes. Got that. There's a couple other places I'm going to let belcher a fly. That's one. That's one, though they're not going to stay lead belchered. You'll see that in a second. That's another. Okay. Okay. Alright. To belcher away. My favorite thing about these guys is that they're not. It feels like when I do my rubrics, it takes 10 years to go through your detail work. For these guys, it doesn't feel too bad. Alright. Let's do a little bit of clue up here. I'm just going to take this straight out of the pot. Okay. I'm just going to come back to these. Want to make the buttons a touch brighter. Okay. That's good. Okay. So these are going to be buttons. Because my primary color is purple, I chose to do the color pie. Well, yellow looks really good with purple. Got a lot of yellowish tones already. So I opted for two other colors that sit close to purple. One. It's a bit thick. Okay. red. There we go. The other there's gonna be blue. And then look how this whole thing's working. I'm going to use yellow for that third color. One thing to note, I've always told you guys not to use, or at least in my opinion, I don't use nice brushes with contrast paints. I'm breaking my own rule here, but I'm doing that with a brush that's kind of oversized for what I'm doing. And the reason I'm doing that is so that it doesn't wick all the way up through to the end. My garbage brushes that I usually use for contrasts aren't going to be pretty enough to do the really nice job. So I kind of need to use one of my finer tip ones. So I chose intentionally an oversized one on purpose. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but oh, did I wake you from your snoring? I'm sorry. Yes, your Snorzlat's having a moment. I should have called him Snorlax. Here we go. Yeah. It is okay if you get a little bit of bleed out here, though, at this step. Just because it'll be the lights from your glowing buttons. And that is okay. Yeah, that one there I might have to do again. A bit too thin. Go. Here we go. Now, I don't think I'm gonna stay consistent with this kind of pattern throughout all of them, but I will follow the same idea of trying to choose matching colors. Right now, back here you saw me do these, and I said they weren't going to stay this color for long. And that is because I'm also going to contrast these guys. I'm going to contrast these guys as well. Here we go. All right. See how quickly the details come together on these guys? Most of this I figured out as I've been here talking to you. Oh yeah, I said I was going to talk about Cavalier. Sorry, I got distracted. So, I just started and finished Alien Earth. And I gotta say, I'm profoundly disappointed. Like, it kind of went the way I expected it to go, but I am a little disappointed that I don't know if you've ever watched Alien before, but our big bad xenomorph giant death monster that was an absolute unit of destruction and despair throughout this entire show, and rightfully so, is now kind of relegated to a pet. Like, this whole thing, you know, you've had the xenomorph butchering, slaughtering, being an absolute monster, and then at the very end it's like, nah man, he chill. You just gotta speak his language, brother. I was like, it's kind of profoundly disappointing for what that creature should be. And I don't know if I want to do anything extra with the pistol grip or not. I really don't. Now, I'm not going to wash him today because I'm going to wait till I get all the other ones done before I wash. I wash everything at the same time just to make sure I'm consistent with my coating. But that was some very quick detailing. Now, look at that. Look how much more alive he looks. Just those few little things. So, hope you enjoyed that. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing before I go, because I do kind of want to do this. I'm also going to turn that port there metallic. There we go. There we go. Turn that metallic. So, I know this is a much shorter video than my usual 2 hours of ranting and talking and going, but I really hope you guys enjoyed that. A much shorter format. And yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoy the product. I don't know what my next video will be. It might just be me batching a bunch of these guys, if I'm honest. Because this guy here is really the test unit. But it might just be batching these hearthkyn. Or it could be me starting my Sagittar or Hearthguard, I don't know. But I do have others to finish. So I gotta figure it out. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. You can keep it weird. Oh, wait, no, I stole that. That's from Morbid. I hope you enjoyed and all the additional YouTube begging. There we go. All the begging. So much YouTube begging. Have a good one.